All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the market. And specifically in this video, I'm going to be going over my top picks for the next bull cycle. Now, this is specific to after the Bitcoin halving. A lot of these are familiar tokens. A lot of these I've been bullish on during this rally up to about 30K. We're in the, I believe Bitcoin's at the low 29Ks at this moment in time. But what are my favorite tokens post halving? So not only, is the halving now less than a year away. So 363 days and 40 minutes until the Bitcoin halving. And traditionally speaking, this does mark the beginning of that next bull cycle. We're going to go over the tokens that I am bullish on in that time period. And after the halving, whenever the market does take that big next leg up in the bull market, the tokens I think you should have exposure to, specifically in the crypto gaming industry. Let's dive into it. Like the video down below if you enjoy the content here on Crypto Banter and on In the Game here every single day as well. Quick shout out to our sponsors down below. Bybit, 100% join the trading competition. We got a lot of contestants in there right now. So sign up for a Bybit account and join the trading competition below. NordVPN for all of your crypto VPN needs. Never disclose your IP address. Use a VPN down below. Vulcan Forge, one of the leading blockchain studios. Metaverse as a service and blockchains with their Elysium blockchain in the entire industry. SIDUS Heroes, the leading AAA intergalactic experience in all of Web3 gaming. And last but not least, Synverse, what truly looks to be the Grand Theft Auto of the Web3 gaming industry. And they just sold out their land sale last week as well. So big congrats to our sponsors there. And if you want to come join us in Miami, you can hit the link down below and use the code Crypto Banter down below. And I believe the first 20 who purchase a Bitcoin Miami ticket will be included in a dinner with all of the hosts. So definitely check that out down below if you're coming to Bitcoin Miami. Now, I see some presence in the chat. Nice to see you guys on a Sunday here in the States. So let's dive in quickly. So right now we're seeing the markets kind of in between, Bitcoin's been in between 29K since that weird dip and then pull back right up to the same levels of last week. But the one token that's still been undisputable in this time period is Pepe. Pepe's up another 100% over the 7 days. And it's really carrying the degens in this altcoin market. And I think this next coming week is critical to see where the next move of the market is. So keep your eyes on that Bitcoin price, especially going into Monday. Usually the weekends are slow. So, I would just say this next week right here is going to tell us a lot about where this market is headed and where altcoins are headed as well. I'm seeing a lot of questions about some tokens in the chat. I will be talking about these tokens, so bear with me as we're going to go into my top picks for the next bull cycle, guys. So, as mentioned, the halving is less than a year away. And the halving is always that marker as the start of the next bull cycle. And I believe, after the halving, we're going to see those new Bitcoin all-time highs after that time period. But what are some altcoins that are going to be probably valuated very, very high once Bitcoin does reach those new levels? Well, let's dive into it. Polygon, first and foremost. We're going to start with blockchains. Tell me tokens name fast. So we're going to start with blockchains here. So Polygon. Polygon is going to be an undoubted leader in the next run. I don't even have to say the partners that they have, MasterCard, Stripe, Meta, they're with all the biggest Instagram, they're with all the biggest brands in the world already. And then just last week during Consensus, they announced that the Google Cloud will help accelerate the adoption of Polygon protocols with enterprise infrastructure and tools. So the biggest businesses in the world are still onboarding to Polygon every single day. We've seen successful launches with Web2 businesses already, like Reddit and Starbucks. I think this is no different. And I'm going to continue to see Polygon climbing in the business development ranks as well as the gaming ranks. So obviously we're looking at Immutable alongside Polygon. I think it's a no-brainer to my screen went crazy there for a second, but I believe I should still be good if you guys can see me. But Immutable here Yeah, so Immutable, sorry, my screen just went crazy, guys, but that's how you know this is live and it's not pre-recorded. So Immutable and Polygon did form a very massive partnership. And as we see here, we are taking Web3 gaming mainstream together. And the good thing about Immutable X is that you're going to have plenty of time for the token unlocks to play out. So next cycle, Immutable X is going to be one of the most rapid gainers in the entire industry, because a lot of these tokens, if you go look at the dilution here, only 46% in circulation, that number is going to be a lot higher. So a lot more of tokens are going to be put back into the circulation, which is going to give this a lot more upside potential and less pullbacks from those big unlocks and those big sells, the liquidity that hits the market at that time period. So IMX and Polygon are definitely at that top of the list as far as blockchains. And then Avalanche. I have IMX, go figure. You got the smart mindset right there. Avalanche is right alongside these two blockchains. I would say right now they're that third competitor, right? And not saying they're third place, but in my bracket of top tier blockchains inside of the Web3 gaming space, this is absolutely in that top 3 bracket with the subnet technology, not only the biggest games and Shrapnel, but the biggest gaming organizations with TSM. I believe they're a top 3 valuated esports organization in the world, right? So Avalanche and their business development has been very impressive. And post halving, I mean, Avalanche, if we look here, all-time highs above $134. Now, the market cap here was insane. 30 billion. That's a 6x from here, right? So I definitely think, I definitely think Avalanche is going to be, one of those biggest winners on the other side, given their developments. And I'm going to answer this question. So wrong info: when there's more coins in the market, price will tank. Bad knowledge here. You clearly didn't listen to what I said. By the end of the halving, more tokens will be on the market, meaning there are less unlocks to occur to have dump on the price. So you should definitely listen whenever I speak, because that is the truth. And more tokens to hit the market, the less unlocks are to come and the less sell pressure to come. You don't want that big gap and fully diluted. This isn't good. This is a double fully diluted market cap. In 363 days, the circulating supply, there's going to be a lot more in circulation. This isn't for you to buy today. This is tokens to look at after the halving that are going to perform the best. So please listen next time before you say wrong information. Just get that straight. So 𝗪𝗓, although I'm not too bullish, once again, like right at this moment in time, 𝗪𝗓 is about to move to a V2 contract. And as Jason says here from 𝗪𝗓, it has a number of improvements: better tracking of burn, security enhancements, upgradability. It isn't an additional token. They are just going to swap the tokens here between 𝗪𝗓 V1 and 𝗪𝗓 V2. So 𝗪𝗓 Games, as one of the top, undisputed, one of the top blockchain gaming companies in the world. Now, this is the differential, right? I don't talk about 𝗪𝗓 on every single show because at this moment in time, I am not that bullish in the short term on 𝗪𝗓. However, next cycle, after this 363 days plays out, 𝗪𝗓 Games and Immutable X are going to be one of the absolute biggest gainers in the entire market, because the money's going to flow into quality. And whenever they look at the crypto gaming industry, they're going to look at IMX and 𝗪𝗓 very, very hard. So those are two with some tokenomics at this moment that I don't love. But in 363 days, things are going to change drastically. And whenever that next bull cycle hits, we're going to see tons of liquidity hit these platforms. Magic. Now, I love the Arbitrum ecosystem. I love Arbitrum. But I believe that Magic is going to outgain what Arbitrum does in the next cycle. So let's just go take a look at the market cap differentials here. So if you're a fan of Web3 gaming, and if you are looking to have almost leveraged gains on Arbitrum, right? So Arbitrum has a 1.7 billion market cap. But what about the top gaming ecosystem underneath Arbitrum? It's a 250 million market cap. It's 7 times less. This is 1/7 of the market cap of Arbitrum. I think the upside potential here for the market cap is multiple billion on whatever it hits its new all-time highs in the next cycle. I think that Magic is a leveraged play on Arbitrum. That's why Arbitrum didn't make my list here. Also because of the massive difference in market cap and fully diluted in 1 year's time isn't going to make too much of a difference. But I'm looking at Magic as a big time leverage play on the growth of Arbitrum. And if you look inside of what's going on, over 10 games already, #1 gaming and top 5 overall liquidity, 100K community, 95% of all gaming and NFT transactions on Arbitrum are here, living on Treasure DAO. So this is going to be a leveraged play, like I said, underneath Arbitrum, and definitely the one I am betting on because they have the most players and the most gains. And absolutely, 𝗂𝗋, Arb's fully diluted market cap is too big. Magic has way more room to grow. I absolutely agree. Vulcan Forged. Vulcan Forged is, kind of between those ranges of like 330, 360 at this moment in time. And over the month, we got it all the way up to 424. I think anything under 100 million market cap here is going to prove to be a very valuable buy in the long term, given everything they're building underneath their ecosystem. We all know the games underneath the platform. They have 10 games and tons of partner games coming to build on their new layer 1 blockchain, Elysium. And then Metascapes is going to be their mainstream product where people can come in kind of like Fortnite Creative and build their own maps, build their own experiences, build their own worlds. This is going to be a very mainstream product. We've seen the explosive growth of Fortnite Creative, and I think Metascapes is basically Vulcan Forge's version of Fortnite Creative. So that is what I will be looking at. And I think, with Jamie Thompson, the backing from Anthony Scaramucci, this is going to perform very well after the halving. And I will definitely be adding to my bags if we do see that economic pullback, the recession, as people are saying, the prices in real estate coming down. If that eventually trickles back to the crypto market, I will be filling up my bags of Vulcan Forge, especially if we get down to about $3.20. I've always called for that to be the level for accumulation for me. Ultra. So Ultra just launched their Ultra Games. It's the Steam of crypto gaming, and it works very well. Big congrats. I want to give a golf clap. Big congrats to Ultra on their launch. But I think the bigger picture, right, the short-term gains on Ultra have played out right now. Like, we've seen the local top for Ultra. Now, once again, people need to listen closely when I say local top, right? I think 38 cents, that what I'm looking at right here on the chart, I think during this little rally, unless we see Bitcoin just completely push through 30 and continue to rip, which I don't think like 40K is in the cards anytime soon. Personally, I would love for that to happen, right? I think everyone would, but just on a logical standpoint, I don't see that happening unless we literally rip past 35 or up to 40. I really don't think that we're going to get past what we saw here on the local top, because it was a buy the rumor, sell the news. We saw this launch. We saw it pump up very rapidly. This was the day that they announced Ultra Games launch date, and it pumped leading all the way up to the 16th, 1 week before the launch, and then it started to sell off. Typical buy the rumor, sell the news. But on ultra long term, I think that this has so much growth potential, so many games onboarding to Ultra to launch. Their ecosystem's very well versed with the tournament platform, with the NFT marketplace, with the game launchers. So definitely think that for the short term, we've seen the local top for Ultra, but I think it's going to be really good accumulation levels long term for people who really believe in the platform and are willing to put a portfolio together and plant those seeds for the long term. Because if you get into those undervalued projects when nobody else is, that's how it's going to pay off. If you're chasing the pumps and if you're chasing whenever the bull market's already started, you're too late. And that's just true. The best way to go is to find those undervalued projects and plant those seeds in the bear market. This is how you get ahead of it, and this is how you form a strategy. So now let's get into some lower market cap tokens. Altura at a $33 million market cap. It's up 40, or no, not 40. It's up 80% since we gave you the signal here on Banter to buy around 2.5 cents. It's up 80% And this is one that I'm holding on to long term. I think that the $33 million market cap is still peanuts to what you are going to see in a bull run. They just integrated with the Seaport Polygon ZK EVM. They're integrating with Unity as an SDK solution. And then they tease a big partner coming up. They haven't announced this yet, but we're seeing get ready for a game-changing announcement. Our upcoming partnership will not disappoint. Stay tuned for the big reveal. So definitely keep your eyes here. This is going to be my top low cap pick for the next run. And I truly think that, you know, any accumulation here on Altura under a market cap of about 40 million is probably going to end up paying off very well. And I think this will be a multiple $100 million token on a market cap standpoint in the next cycle and in the next bull run. Wilderworld. So Wilderworld at an $84 million market cap. I don't like Sandbox. I don't like Decentraland. I don't like all these bull crap metaverses that no one wants to go spend time with, that no one's actually playing and no one's actually using. So I'm going to look at the experience that looks the most immersive and the most elevation of lifestyle. You don't want to go into a world that looks like Minecraft and be like, yes, this is where I want to spend my time. Minecraft's a great game, but Sandbox is a copycat of Minecraft. That's all it is. So when I'm looking at an immersive experience that you want to go spend time in, I'm looking at Wilderworld. You know, not only screenshots, but they do have gameplay live on what you can expect when you hop into, as they call it, Miami. It's like Wilderworld's version of Miami. I think Wilderworld is going to be very, very, I mean, this is going to be explosive in the next bull run. Forgot Illuvium. This isn't an all-inclusive list. I mean, if you go to my all-inclusive list, which is at the very end here, I can only cover so many games and so many projects in this video. If you go to my all-inclusive lists, you will see this is the playbook. This is the next cycle crypto gaming and AI bags that you want to have in your portfolio. So I'm not forgetting anything. This is just what I'm covering on the show. But if you want that all-inclusive list, I did throw it in here. I'm seeing a lot of Illuviums in the chat, but you know, it's not going to be talked about on the show. I'm bullish on Illuvium next cycle for sure, but it's not in the top sector of tokens for me right now. Wilderworld versus High Street. So honestly, Wilderworld a little above, but I think High Street is also going to perform really well. I hold both of those, and I think that, you know, they're both going to perform really well in the metaverse narrative in the future. So let's finish up the tokens, and we'll take some chat box questions at the end, guys. SIDUFI, no brainer. I don't even have to discuss how big the ICO wave was. We saw Mobland, SIDUS, all these big projects do crazy numbers on the upside during the bull market whenever people had to buy SIDUFI, stake SIDUFI, and then they get the access to the pre-sales. So I think no brainer, $71 million market cap. And if you look at the all-time high here, it was above $15, $16. Next cycle, SIDUFI is going to be absolutely one of the best performers. I'm very bullish on Veracity, especially at its market cap. Not so much a low cap token, but one I wanted to throw in is Render. I think that this right here is not talked about enough in the metaverse sector, but it's basically metaverse computing. And I think that this is going to be just as big of a play as any individual metaverse, and probably will perform better than any individual metaverse, given its capabilities on the back end as an infrastructure. Continuing the low cap tokens I would be looking at next cycle, WASDR, WAGMI Games, and UFO. So they, you know, WAGMI Games and UFO kind of have the meme coin tokenomics, kind of like Pepe. And I think Pepe's here to stay. If I'm honest, I think Pepe is going to be around for a long time. Pepe versus Bonk. Someone always brings up this Bonk Inu token. It's a joke at this point, but I think Pepe is here to stay, guys. I really think that, you know, the meme culture is alive. I think Pepe is a meme that honestly could outshine Shiba Inu and Doge, for example, as far as the culture. So I do think Pepe is going to live long term. But the low caps that I would be looking at, guys, Altura, Wilder, SIDUFI, Veracity, WASDR, WAGMI Games, and UFO. Bonk is going to go crazy. Oh, gosh. We got the D-Gens in the chat. Pepe is here to stay. Pepe, yes. Yeah, guys, I really do think it's here to stay, actually. Let's take a look at the chat box. So like I said, if you want an all-inclusive list of the tokens I'm looking at for the next cycle, definitely hop over to my Twitter here, 𝗁𝗏𝗃𝗍. I tweeted this a few days ago. And this this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 tokens here. You could probably take this portfolio and do what you want with it. Wait until next cycle and see where these bags are. I think you would probably be sitting very pretty. But as mentioned, you want to be taking bets on projects in the bear, planting those seeds, and having a harvest time later on of 2024, 2025. And if you are willing to wait that out and let these projects mature and let the market mature, get past the next halving, which is the main topic of this show for the next cycle, I think you're going to have a very high success rate if you have a strategy during these time periods. WAGMI looks rugged. The token has not gotten good activity, but the game is really pushing strides on the mobile side. Scott and Ian are very, very innovative on what they're doing with IMX, GameStop Marketplace. They brought on advisors from Halo, EA, etc. I definitely am looking at WAGMI games to do really well in the bull market. Naka's on my list. Naka's on my list. I'm bullish on Nakamoto Games. Am I bullish on Ultra? Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Ultra earlier in the show. Ultra is definitely going to be in my long-term bags. 𝗏𝗏 or KRL, stay away. How about BR1 Infinite and Shrapnel? Yeah, great games. We'll see where the Shrap token launches at. But as far as like investments, not what I'm looking at. As far as like games, yeah, fantastic, honestly. But right now, I'm not looking too hard at investing in too many different games. But I think as far as product goes, very, very strong. Remark versus 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. Remark, although strong and it could pump with the Polygon narrative and the Kusama narrative, 𝗓𝗓𝗓 just has a lot more going on. And as a Unity partner, I would back 𝗓𝗓𝗓. Vera bullish. We mentioned it here in the show. 𝗁. I don't want to call 𝗁 vaporware, but I always see cool things from 𝗁𝗏𝗃, and then it never comes out. So would like to see more. I'm not going to call it vaporware, but it's nearly that in my mind. 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗏. DJins in the chat. Phantasma keeps building. They could absolutely reach all-time high again. Super low cap too. All the tokens are in circulation. I am still bullish on Phantasma. What's my view on Ape? It'll definitely perform well in a bull run. I hold some Ape in my bags currently. I'm decently down on those bags, but I'm willing to hold out and see. I think if they have enough utility within the other side, once it officially launches, that it could do really well. XCAD, I'll need to check that out. My Twitter handle, guys, is 0xHustlepedia. 0xHustlepedia is my Twitter. Chili's will probably do really well, especially once the sports Web3 narrative does creep into the sector a little more. Network, it could creep back up into my top metaverses. I just need to see more, and I want to see a little. I don't know what happened with their team in the past. I hated to see public doxing of founders, and it just didn't go over well. They're going to need to work their way back up into my conviction list. Super, yes. I mean, Elio's going to do everything he can to make Super, Imposters, and Gigamart perform to their absolute max, and I would bet on Elio before I fade Elio, that's for sure. Cornucopias looks good. Copy, yeah, Copy looks good. Spin Top, I want to see more utility for the token. Platform's great. I want to see more utility for the token. Because that's what it's all about. Unless you're literally like a Polygon or these big, you're betting on a company at that point, right? It's like taking stock in a company. But some of these tokens do the low caps. They need utility, a lot of them. So for like a Spin Top, for example, I would want to see more use cases for the token. Remark bullish, especially once Polygon and Kusama come back around, as mentioned. Nakamoto Games bullish. I love platforms, marketplaces, distributors. So Naka definitely fits that that narrative. 𝗕𝗄𝗧𝗏? Is that a meme coin? I don't know what 𝗕𝗄𝗧𝗏 is. Mover? Oh, interesting. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan. We'll really have to see a big comeback in those ecosystems. It's not in my bags, I'll tell you that. SIDUS, I would bet on the Senate token as listed here. The Senate token, I think, has a much stronger upside, and it's a lower market cap. Because the Senate token is the governance token. The SIDUS token is the inflationary token. So keep that in mind. AI Doge. Yeah. I've seen it's been doing pretty good, but it's not going to be in my bags, unfortunately. I'm a big 𝗵𝗵𝗃 holder. Hey, it's up 10x since I bought. I'm riding it out for the culture. MetaStrike looks good. I know that they're also launching their game with 𝗕𝗓𝗓. I like 𝗕𝗓𝗓 too. So the game looks good. As an investment standpoint, I'm not looking to invest at this moment in time. Decimated looks fantastic. Cypher looks like one of the sharper games in the space coming out soon. I think their token could do really well in a bull. I bet some 𝗕𝗂𝗏 playing pool on their site. Yeah, I really like 𝗕𝗂𝗏. I think it's going to perform super well. The Reef token, I mean, honestly, maybe I'm out of touch, but I don't know too much about Reef. Yeah, okay, for DeFi and NFT gaming. I'll look into it. I haven't really done due diligence on Reef, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But I can look into this one. It's a blockchain built for DeFi and NFT games. I'll definitely take a look. HBAR, it's going to survive. Nothing I'm looking to invest in personally. Spores Network is really coming up quick. A lot of people are calling it the next SIDUFI. We'll see. Reef associate with SBF. Oh no. Oh no. YFI. Actually, not the token. Not the token I was thinking of. Boo. No, but Yearn Finance, if that's what you're talking about, I would have to do some due diligence. Yieldification was a token. I think it has the same ticker that I would actually take a look at. Really low cap, DEX aggregator. I think it has a lot of upside personally. Wax, yeah. So Wax on the other side of the cycle is probably going to perform awesome. If you look at their partners on their blockchain, it just makes sense, right? I mean, I believe they have Mattel. Yeah, they have Funko Pops, Mattel. They have like Hot Wheels. They have some of the biggest Web2 partners in the space. Not enough shine goes on for Wax, like people talking about it, but I think Wax they have some of the biggest user counts in the space, and I think it's their friendliness to Web2 users. 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗧𝗏, I like. It looks good. Small cap token too, so it has a lot of upside. ICP. All I think is insane clown posse from the Eminem beef back in the day. I don't like ICP personally. All right, guys, I'm going to hop out of here. We've been on for almost 30 minutes. We talked about 30 plus coins at this point. So I'm going to hop out of here, guys. Like the video down below if you enjoy the content here. And if you're bullish on crypto gaming post halving, because guys, the clock is ticking. And at this point in time is when that new bull market will begin. That new bull cycle will begin. And I think if you plant those seeds strategically throughout this time period and you're able to take bets on projects that are undervaluated, like Vulcan Forge, like Altura, like Veracity, like 𝗎𝗎, these lower cap tokens. And then you also have those convictions in the higher cap, risk allocate correctly, go a little bigger into the bigger cap platforms that are more stable businesses at this point in time. But those low caps, plant those seeds. And on the other side of this Bitcoin halving, I think you're going to see a lot of success in the crypto gaming industry, as this industry, crypto gaming, NFTs and video games, is going to onboard more users than any other space inside of crypto. So keep your eyes on this space and keep your eyes on this halving countdown. Strategically place your bets, and then you can chill when that next bull market plays out. And we'll be here to walk you through the entire time leading up to the halving and after, of course. So guys, as always, like the video and subscribe. Play well, my friends. you.